For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow any stuff for you. For the record, live on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to make no time to waste. 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 Ain't trying to make no time to waste. Time to waste. Time to waste. Time to waste. Ain't trying to make no time to waste.
Off record, I still count wins when they got it. Off record, I let them take advantage. I was running. Off record, bills. Tell them to the collar for the phone. Off record, want to act reference post.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow any stuff for you. For the record, live on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to make no time to waste. Time to waste. Time to waste. Time to waste. Ain't trying to make no time to waste. Done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow any stuff for you. For the record, live on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to make no time to waste. Time to waste. Time to waste. Time to waste. Ain't trying to make no time to waste.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow any stuff for you. For the record, live on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to make no time to waste.
Halo. How we doing, everybody? Welcome to another session of Amongst the Giants here on Forgebreaker, our Storm King's Thunder playthrough here. Let's see, it's been a little while. We haven't played in quite some time, so we're gonna have a lot to go over. Hopefully get right back into the swing of things pretty quickly here. But first, let's kind of cover what's going on in our stream world here. So tonight, the party will attempt to board the Grand Dame in search of information about the Purple Lady and the disappearing nobles of the realm. And then tomorrow, Fate will be streaming some video games. Originally, I thought it was going to be Rise of the Tomb Raider, but it looks like he's switching off of that, even though the new Tomb Raider game came out, so I'm not really sure. But we'll see where that goes. Then Friday is D&D Replay. Sunday is Entropy. We are back here Monday as well for Tyranny of Dragons, which returns after a 2-week hiatus. Let's see, Civil War is Wednesday, which now has both Empire and Alliance combined together, so that should be pretty fun as well. And Ascension's next game is not this Sunday, but the Sunday following. And then the next Giants game is the 26th of September, so we hope you'll be there for that as well. We are still waiting on one player, but that's fine. We'll probably go ahead and jump over for our recap anyways. Let's see if our friends are ready to go here. Are you guys ready over here?
Sure.
Ready to rock.
I've decided that I'm going to side with the Giants.
I'm going to side with the dragon.
It's a very goblin thing of you to do.
I mean, I'm going to embrace it.
Pretty bold strategy, I gotta say.
I mean, I saw the way that they were launching my kin off of the backs of ogres, and, you know, I kind of like it, you know.
It works.
It's good job security in that it's terrible job security.
Yeah, did it look fun?
It looks pretty fun. That's admittedly the only reason
It
why.
did look pretty fun.
I mean, it looked great.
Everything but the landing.
They did give you a nice spiky helmet, though, so that was kind of cool.
Sometimes. Not all.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Not all of them had the spiky helmets.
You just gotta make sure you get though.
So, let's cover what happened last time, since it's been a little while since we played.
A little bit, yeah.
Just a little, like a month. It's fine. So, last session, Bear Team 6 was able to finally make their way to the city of Yartar after making a stop on their way to kind of check out the destruction that the fire giants have caused, seemingly to grab an artifact, but obviously without actually knowing. They're kind of assuming, and the people there are giving them stories, so that's kind of what the party's going on. But nonetheless, you continued on, kind of following in the footsteps of your Zentarum friend Lessler, who reached the gatehouse a bit before you did and made his way across the bridge into the city of Yartar. As you finally approached and made your way in, party would lead young Lord Artan to his mother, Lady Desia Rosolio, who appeared less than thrilled that he was returned to her. They would find out that Artan's disappearance was one of few or several in recent days, and led the party towards the water baron, Nestra Ruthio, for a little bit more information. Ruthio would offer a bit of insight, though most of which was speculation. pointing the finger in the direction of Lord Dryland and the Grand Dame, though she was a bit too skittish to completely place blame on him, let alone to investigate him, for fear of turning these people of Yartar against her. The party would begin their investigation, eventually heading in the direction of the docks and running into a member of the Hand of Yartar, an all-female group of Thieves Guild members who ran the darker portions of the city. It was here that they would meet with an individual who gave minimal insight into the Purple Lady, though they did learn that she frequented the Grand Dame quite often. It was also here that our party would begin to formulate a plan to board the vessel, some posing as rowers, others posing as nobles. However, with limited time to prepare, we can only hope that things go smoothly when they actually board the Grand Dame, unlike their interview process. That's kind of where we start things off tonight. So let's take a look. As a reminder, this is where we are. You're within the city of Yartar. You guys are just outside of the market and docks area here. At this time, it was Nav and Selja and Grankul who had tracked down the member of the Hand of Yartar, and you're waiting to regroup with Kilane and Lucas, who are getting prepared to become or to pose themselves as nobles aboard the ship.
I have super lag tonight.
Is there anything you guys would like to do before we actually set off and start getting into the adventure?
How nice were the dresses in the shop?
You guys were actually getting your gear from Lady Rosolio. She had offered several of her outfits, which would make you fit in pretty well with all the nobles here.
Well,
also,
I just rolled up winter, so I'm going to pick something that best reflects her current disposition.
Wonderful. Gentleman Joe, thank you once again.
Was Winter the one where she started stabbing at everybody?
My friend.
No, that's Summer.
Oh, thank God. Hi there, would you like a drink? I would like you to die! Stab.
More stabbing, please no.
All the
Didn't turn out
stabbing.
well last time.
Oh, I think it turned out well.
I mean,
no, it kind of didn't.
Ultimately, we all survived. So I mean, win. But
Win.
the
And
ride there
guys,
could have been a
the
lot.
Zentarum got apprehended. That's what's important.
In air quotes.
Yeah.
Air quotes.
Apprehended
Definitely in air quotes.
Yeah. We're just going to pretend that they're apprehended.
I mean,
Of
I'm
course.
just, it's safe, I safely assume that a town guard of a rinky-dink town can totally hold a Zent.
Let alone
I heard
two of them.
I heard there were people calling themselves like C Team that based out of Red Lark, so I'm confident they've got it.
Oh yeah, they got it.
It's fine. This is fine.
As far as Goblin Group, we've released. Yeah, we didn't get a name
The
for it.
Hounds.
So yeah,
Artan?
we released. Was it Artan? Was that the chick that assaulted us?
You did not catch her name, no.
Okay. Yeah.
You assume that she was a member of the Hand of Yartar, mostly because of the very intimidating female guards that came up afterwards, but you have no way of actually knowing what her name was because you never asked.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just making sure I didn't have a name. So yeah,
Yeah, no.
I assume we've parted ways with that group after getting a little information from her and are heading down towards where the Grand Dame is being loaded.
Yep, and you guys know it's probably another couple hours. As kind of a reminder, the Grand Dame begins boarding about 3 to 4 hours beforehand, allowing the crew to get aboard the ship, get everything prepared before they allow the nobles on to begin their entertainment. You know you're about an hour away from the beginning of that right now.
Okay, well, I think we'll just chill. We're an hour away from set off, or an hour away from when we can get on and start loading.
You're an hour away from when you can load on.
Okay. Yeah. Let's chill down here and keep our eyes out and see if we see anybody notable heading towards the Grand Dame.
Okay.
Sound like a good plan?
Sounds good to me. How about you now? Rah, I like turkeys. Rah.
Something
Yeah,
along those
I
lines.
think that's a really good idea as long as I get more turkey.
Roll.
He's
play.
actually just got into roll 20, so he'll be showing up here and chatting any moment.
Hooray!
Hooray!
Yep. He's real lost in Tomb Raider. I had to call him to get him to break out of it.
The new one or the second?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that
Oh,
just
the new one
released.
just nice.
He was up until 4 a.m. last night playing it, so
Nice.
God damn. Dude's a trooper for even showing up.
he answered the phone. He's like, "What?" I'm like, "You're still tired, aren't you?" Good. Come play D&D.
It's D&D time.
What's next Wednesday? No, it's not.
All right, so yeah, you kind of set up camp, just kind of hanging out within the market. As you watch, there's a bit of activity, mostly commoners, people that you would assume are going to board this ship as workers. You do start to see people that are dressed like chefs, some in their finest attire. As you kind of watch them a bit, and they're starting to line up over by the docks, you start to get the impression that the Grand Dame also offers like an escort service as well. People are kind of gathering around the docks and preparing. You notice that most of the people that are like the dealers and things of that nature aboard this casino make their way and kind of push their way to the front. They feel very important and they feel like that's where they need to be. Party just kind of watches as everybody begins to gather, and you don't see any signs of the individuals that you assume are going to be the rowers, not quite yet, let alone any nobles, because they're certainly not going to be showing up anytime soon.
And I'm assuming our other people, Lucas and Keelan, I think that's the only two that are in the other group, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me dress in a pretty dress and go hang out.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the only kind of thing that's a bit of an anomaly here is the fact that you're still dealing with what's his name? Karsnook, who's kind of like lost. He doesn't know what to do here. He's kind of wandering around with you guys, and he's sticking close to you, but he feels a bit out of place after not being able to board the ship with the other group, and he's obviously not going to fit in very well with the nobles. He's really not sure what to do. At one point, you kind of hear him muttering to himself that maybe he should make his way towards an inn and take some contracts and try to find other work within the village, but he's still kind of staying close to your side right now.
God damn, he's like a lost little dog.
He is.
I
He,
almost
just
feel bad
remind-
doing him away.
Just remind him if he takes on any extra contracts, we get 90% of his income.
Zelda
Wow.
just kind of pats him on the arm and says, maybe go take care of the wagon?
And I'm sure after a bit of time passes, he's gonna eventually get a bit discouraged and will probably end up doing so. He mostly is hanging out just to be there, to wait until he knows that you guys board the ship and try to figure out what to do after that point.
It's like an allegory for Snow himself.
Yeah.
Kind of feel bad.
Rip.
Just kind of there.
Kind of there, waiting for you guys to figure out what's gonna happen. Keelanay and Lucas,
Yes.
give me a performance check.
Performance?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Lucas, since I know you're going to mess this up, let's practice our dance moves before we get onto the ship.
That's a good idea.
See how well you can
Kaboom!
act as nobles. Literally the definition of this campaign right here.
That pretty much you could script it better, to be honest.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. Keelanay immediately steps forward, having dealt with nobles in the past, gives a proper bow, and Lucas, feeling a little out of place, goes to kind of emulate her and just looks like a complete fool as he does. Kind of stops, and Keelanay just gives the face palm and looks at him. No, you're doing it wrong. You got to do it like this.
You have to bow. You don't curtsy. Men don't curtsy. What are you doing?
I'm sorry.
The way I imagine it, if this was at the boat, Kulinay's like, "Oh yes, thank you very much. This is such a lovely boat." And Luke just goes up and he's like, "Hey, what's up, fuckers?"
Right, the exact opposite of Keelanay.
He's in sandals and a Hawaiian shirt.
This
Heck yeah.
immediately, obviously, this kind of worries Keelanay. She kind of looks at Lucas, wondering exactly how badly this is gonna go. She stops and thinks for a second, but eventually you guys decide to leave from Lady Rosolio's keep and begin making your way over towards the market, though making sure to let enough time pass that you don't show up too early and appear really out of place.
Point that man to the shuffleboard.
Well, I suppose if we're going to fail spectacularly, we can't do any worse than Carson.
Right?
Damn.
You're not wrong there.
So the other three of you sitting at the dock, you do notice that they have begun boarding. At this point, they start letting the casino workers, the chefs, and some of the other individuals who will help run the ship itself, like the deckhands and stuff, begin to load onto the ship. They're the first to start pushing their way on, and as they do, they immediately start getting into place. They're preparing all of the gambling tables. They're starting all of the prep work for the food. The deckhands are going through and ensuring that the ship is in fine condition, getting ready to sail off into the river here. After a few more minutes, they begin to let the escorts on the dock or on the ship. A little more time passes, and then some of the other deckhands, some of the lower tier deckhands, the ones that you would assume are probably like janitors, begin to board onto the ship. And then finally, they start motioning for the rowers, the very last to board the ship.
Well,
Maybe you would think we would be one of the first for the reasons why the boat's gonna move.
no respect for our line of work, really.
I know, says the two goblins who I'm pretty sure we're just pawning our work on a nav as we go do things.
Yeah, that's pretty much the plan.
Okay. Let's go.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna head that way.
Okay. You begin making your way on the ship, making your way up the dock and into the lower portions of the vessel. Once again, as you start to get into position, you start to hear the voice of Captain Strawn, even though you can't really see him. I'm going to move some of you. I'll move you three over to that view so you can see what the ship looks like from your position.
What?
Let's see if I can move this too. So you're over here.
Is there like a wall separating the oars?
Yeah, so you guys are over here. As you're kind of looking around, you're noticing that the rowing sections of this are separated off. There are 2 seats in each section, and there are several rows that move forward. Looks like about 16 oars that stick out of the side of the ship. With each oar, there are 2 rowers that are assigned to each one of the stations. They tend to put the smaller individuals closer to the outer sides of the ship, making it a little easier for them to row because obviously arm length is going to be a thing. And then they have 2 deckhands up towards the front of the ship, which you guys really can't see from your position, that begin making their passes up and down the halls, making sure everything is functioning as necessary. Captain Strawn makes his way down to the bottom side here with all of you. And as he begins making his paces down through the hallway, he speaks out and says, the vessel will be out throughout the overnight hours. You'll row for 3 hours upriver. We'll drop anchor for a few hours before we head back in the morning. He kind of looks as he's kind of passing through into each section as he's making his way south. One sec. And as he does, he continues talking and says, while we're anchored, you are free to move about the lower portions of the vessel, though we do ask that you don't disturb the guests or we will throw you overboard. And as he says that, he gets to the row where you guys are at and looks towards Grankul and Nav, kind of squinting his eyes a little bit towards the Nav and then turning towards the other side, looking over in the direction of Selja before heading back.
Enthusiastic waving.
Big smiles.
Big smiles. He continues speaking, again passing through, checking to make sure everything's okay, and he says, when the bell is rung up topside, you have 30 minutes to return to your locations here. Anyone caught out of position will be giving up their pay for the evening. Have I made myself clear? As he continues walking, everybody aboard the ship kind of shouts, giving like an eye, saying they understand and agree. And he makes his way back up towards the front of the ship. As he does, passing by one of the deckhands, he kind of places his hand on the shoulder. Grankul, Nav, and Selja, give me a perception check.
Oh, I'm good at that.
Hey!
Passable.
You say
at
if
that.
Nav rolls the 1.
Look at that. An 11-month sub. Thank you, Havoc. Let's see. Grankul. Yeah, you kind of hear him whispering, talking a little under his breath as he says, keep an eye on the goblinoids in the back. I have a feeling they're gonna cause us a bit of trouble tonight.
That's racist.
That's super racist.
Super fucking racist.
Even if he's right.
Definitely racist.
Even if he's right.
Even if he's completely in the clear for thinking that.
You may be right, but how dare you assume?
How dare you assume, sir?
Assumptions doesn't make it okay.
You hear as his footsteps start making their way up the stairs. The deckhands start making their passes down the hall. few moments pass, and as they kind of reach your section, again, the deckhands kind of look at you a bit, kind of squinting, similar to what Strawn did as he made his pass, and then continue back towards the north. You're noticing that after a few moments, they go from being side by side to kind of staggering a bit, so that when one passes, the other one's at the other end of the ship, and they alternate back and forth. Their entire job is to ensure that the ship is rowed properly and gets where it's supposed to go safely. The rest of you, however, another hour or so has passed after everybody gets aboard the ship. You start to notice people are lining up on the outside. The nobles preparing to board the vessel itself. After about an hour or so has passed, you do notice that Captain Strawn has begun making his way back out. He's made it back to the top of the ship, starts walking down the dock, or back towards the dock down the ramp. And as he gets down to the bottom of the ramp, you notice he pulls out this notebook. And as he pulls out the notebook, he starts flipping through it, and he prepares, and he's looking, and then he stops, and you hear him kind of make a couple of whispers towards one of the deckhands, trying to figure out the proper date and time of this voyage, as he's been out to sea quite often lately. Then you start to watch as he begins welcoming individuals as they walk up. They come up towards the bottom of the dock, or at the end of the dock, at the bottom of the ramp, and he kind of looks over this book, which you can assume is probably a guest list. And as he's looking it over, you hear him call out and ask for their name, and as he does, he looks through and then he welcomes them, and they board the Grand Dame with little ceremony or event. They just go on board and go do their own thing, as I guess it would be assumed would happen with a casino. You're watching as this group begins filing in. It's roughly, I'd say close to about 12 to 15 nobles have boarded this ship before you begin to make your way that direction as well. Or I assume you're going to make your way that direction. I guess I should ask. This would be Keelan and Lucas.
Yes.
Well, I suppose if we're going to get this over with.
Okay. As you begin to walk up, you catch a little closer glimpse as to what's going on, and you watch as he takes a bit of coal and kind of marks off at the side of this notepad as he's checking off names at board. And as you start to step forward, Captain Strawn looks at you and says, "Well, greeting, friends. What is your names?"
Since it's been a month, did she assign us special names, or are we just giving ours?
She did not. You asked about clothing and things of that nature, and she didn't really think ahead because she doesn't ever visit the Grand Dame, so she's not sure how it works. So she wasn't prepared for something like this.
Okay.
So I would guess we just use our names then, right? That would have been given then?
Yeah, we should do that. Go ahead and introduce yourself first.
Okay. Good evening. I am Lucas Boyd.
Lucas kind of looks over the list, flips through a couple of pages, kind of looks up a little bit, squints his eyes, and looks over at Keelan and says, "And your name, perhaps it's under her instead."
Oh, yes. I am Kilane, Tinulewa, Elavathar, Eleron, Tonk. Sorry, that's a Critical Role reference. No, she just gives this long elven name, and she's like, probably just under Kilane.
He again looks back into the notepad, kind of flips through a few pages. His finger kind of scans down through to the bottom of the page and says, "That's strange. I don't have any names such as those that appear on this list." He kind of looks at you and says, "What brings you here aboard our vessel?"
Run.
We were told that everything would be taken care of by, and I already forgot her name too, lady in charge.
Lady Desia?
Desia Rosolio, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we were told by Lady Rosolio that our reservations would have been taken care of by now.
Give me a persuasion check.
I'm so persuasive.
Yes. Kind of looks at you and says, "I'm very sorry, but your name isn't on the list, and while I do know Lady Rosolio, it's perhaps you're just not wealthy enough to gain voyage aboard our vessel. But perhaps I'm wrong. If only there was some way you could prove to me that you aren't lying. I hear gold is in fashion these days."
He's a captain of a ship.
Yeah,
Oh,
that doesn't mean he's not
yes.
dirty.
How silly of us that our name probably wasn't on the list while we're being extorted. Here, hold on. Let me see what I have. Swear to God, if I have like minor illusion, he's getting a couple of acorns. You're lucky I don't. All right.
I have prestidigitation, but I'm not sure that would help.
Lucas, pay the man.
How much?
Well, knowing him, 10 gold is probably his month's salary.
His passive perception allows him to hear that, and you watch as his finger kind of points upwards.
Getting warmer.
I whispered to Keelan 20.
I think that'll do.
I whispered it the same loudness I asked how much. So
He doesn't.
I-
He doesn't even acknowledge you. He still doesn't look at you.
I don't know what to tell you. They haven't paid me yet.
I pull out 40 gold pieces.
You watch as he kind of turns his back, and as he does, you see the coin pouch that's hanging on his left hip is kind of opened a bit, and he kind of turns his back, looking back towards the ship.
I put 40 gold pieces in there.
After you do, and he hears the jingle of the gold pieces hit his pouch, he quickly turns back, giving you a very insincere smile as he kind of motions for you to pass aboard the ship.
Well, we'll definitely be giving this a 5-star rating on the
On Yelp?
whatever the Faerun equivalent of Yelp is.
Hold on, let me pull out my Google Maps app and give this a 5-star right quick.
Google, of course, is the name of the Archmage gnome that invented this.
Of course.
This travel spell.
This map spell.
All right,
can
so
direct you.
so you begin to walk aboard the ramp. The ramp isn't super long, and you notice that the boat is beginning to fill up rather quickly. I'm gonna move everybody here. Cool, we're good. You make your way aboard the ship. Everybody starts to get settled in. As you're kind of towards the back of it, you get to take a glance around the ship from where you stand. Several decorative lanterns hang from posts that support the balcony of the upper deck. A rusty winch bolted to the deck is used to kind of raise and lower the ship's anchor. Noticing a new guest, you are quickly approached by this stern-faced human. Her hair kind of pulled back into a bun, wearing a very stylish silk yellow robe with 6 green, brightly colored snakes adorning it, and a very brightly colored bag against her shoulder. As she begins to approach, she gives you a bit of a smile, kind of looks you over a bit. She walks up, extending her hand towards you and says, some new guests. Oh, greetings. Welcome aboard the Grand Dame. I'm Pao Ming. I'm the chief of security aboard the Grand Dame. I make it my personal quest to introduce myself to every new visitor aboard our vessel. And who might you be?
I am Lucas Boyd, and this is
Helene, charmed, and she lethargically holds out a hand.
One second.
also I can't see anything.
Oh, you can't see
Oh,
anything?
scroll up a little bit.
You're right here.
Yeah, it's just
Is it because dark?
Silly human eyes.
Let's see. Is it because dark? It is because dark. And there.
There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll give you some sight here.
You think I'm human?
Yeah. I have a handout for this. Hold on. Maybe.
I hope you do it. I hope it has her name on it.
It does. Her name's
Cool.
Pao Ming, though. It's pretty easy. Pretty easy name to remember.
Yeah, guys, it's Dao Ping.
Yes, sure. Mhm.
Is she also 9 feet tall?
No, she's fairly short. She's about 5 foot tall.
So she can't dunk but has good fundamentals.
Yes. And I do not see the handout that I know I made. Cool.
Is that a reference I think you would have made, Ren?
I mean, it's her Pao Ming would be the girl version of Yao Ming, and
I know. I just didn't think that you even knew who that was.
sports ball.
Sports ball.
Sports ball.
Here, we'll just add it here. And then I'm going to share this as soon as it uploads. Here. All players can see.
Hey.
Oh,
I don't think she can dunk.
No, she's probably can't
I'm
dunk.
pretty sure I saw her on the last episode of Iron Fist I watched.
Well, your first mistake is watching Iron Fist.
wow.
So
Wow,
you
first off,
so you begin to introduce yourself, and she kind of grins and says, "Well, I obviously don't want to keep you. However, while you are here, allow me to offer you this token of our gratitude." And she reaches her hand into this pouch, and as she does, she pulls out a token. And this token that you see is this.
Ooh.
it happens to be worth 45 gold.
Hey.
Remember the goose.
Cough, cough.
Cough, cough.
She hands it to you. It's this single wooden gold coin adorned with gold and a carving of a goose in the center of it. And as she hands it to you, she says, "I would be happy to exchange any of your gold or gems for these tokens, should you wish to gamble aboard our vessel. We only accept these tokens in our casino, so if you plan to spend any additional money, you must make this purchase first. She kind of looks over the both of you and says, also, should you need any assistance while you're aboard the Grand Dame, please let us know. I would be happy to assist you.
So is this an even exchange back afterwards, or is this like the fun money at Baldur's Gate land?
So let's see.
Fun money at Baldur's Gate.
I'm looking here. Hold on. I gotta figure out how much money this is worth because I don't know that it says. Oh,
so
it probably
just
does.
lost a
but
lot
it's
of
not
money
here.
on the fun money in Baldur's Gate land.
Yeah. 1 sec. Pull this up.
At Baldur's Gate land is a fun place, but it's also a money pit.
It is.
For just 5 gold, you can go into the Gold Tornado. It's a cylinder where gold coins are swirled around at high speed, and you have to try and catch as many as you can.
We're not liable for the damages.
We're not liable for any injuries.
As many as you can while your hit points are still viable.
Each one of these are worth 10 gold.
Okay.
All right, well, I'll just go ahead and take 1 token, and I hand over my 10 gold.
It took me a lot
Because
longer
the group
to
still
figure
hasn't
out
paid me.
that cost, even though it was right in front of me.
Ah.
As you hand over the gold, she kind of grins and takes it and kind of drops it into her pouch and reaches in, handing you another one of these tokens.
It's almost like the people pretending to be wealthy should have been trusted with the coin purse.
I pull out
Who's even keeping track of the party money?
the guy standing next to her.
Well, there you go.
Everything's fine.
Stop complaining.
Why are you being so finicky with the bribe money?
Right. That's what I was wondering, man.
I thought
pull
Grand
out-
Cole had it.
No, he
Not
still
even
has
two.
some. He has like half probably. I don't actually know how much he has. I pull out. I pull out a gem. Don't remember what it is, but all I have recorded is it's worth 100 gold pieces.
Okay. She kind of looks it over. Obviously, it's a casino. She isn't going to have the proper equipment to kind of look it over. How much are you trying to get out of this?
All of it.
Trying to get the 100? All right,
Yeah.
give me a persuasion check. See if you can convince her to
Got this,
give you
buddy.
100.
I happen to be decent at persuasion. Jeez!
She
What the hell?
She kind of looks at the gem and says, I don't know, it seems a little high. I'll give you 90 gold worth of tokens here.
Okay.
Okay. She
Knew I should have brought the receipt from the jeweler.
So she takes it and kind of drops it into her pouch, reaching in, grabbing 9 of these tokens and handing them to you. She kind of looks at the both of you and says, well, if there's nothing else, again, welcome aboard the Grand Dame. If you need anything, please feel free to give me a shout. I will be browsing throughout the area throughout the evening here.
Okay. Thank you.
And she quickly begins making her way out and around, kind of disappearing back into the ship itself. Down on the bottom side, Grand Cool Nav and Selja, you hear as the deckhands have begun to call for you'd begin rowing backwards. I need all 3 of you to give me a strength check, please.
Oh, guys, don't worry. I got this.
Totally got this. Everything's gonna
Oh,
be
wow.
fine here.
Actually, wow.
Holy shit.
Yeah, good job, us.
Good job, team.
Wow.
You begin rowing backwards, pushing the ship back away from the dock. As you're doing so very well, actually. You're able to quickly push the ship away, begin leading the ship out towards the sea, or towards the river here, which, let me get the name because I forgot it already. Bad DM. Yeah, so you begin to push the vessel backwards, and the ship begins to turn, heading towards. Just had it right here. Hold on. It's probably not that important. Yeah, it's not that important. Yeah. Pulling it up. Oh, the Disarn River. That's right, because this rests along the Disarn River. You begin backing away and heading to the east along the Disarn River, heading closer, kind of making your way in the direction of Everlund. But you're not making good time because obviously you're rowing at a very slow and steady pace. It's basically a very slow and kind of relaxing journey. Give me one more strength check here as we cover the first hour of the trip. That's
Tired
unfortunate.
now.
Typical goblins.
Start off strong.
They're noticing the crew itself is noticing the ship is lagging a little behind where it was expected. As they do, they begin making their way towards where you guys are at, where you're rowing the boat. Nav is just doing his thing and just keeps going. No problem. This is fine. Everything's fine here. Grandcool and Selja, however, are struggling, and they're like reaching forward, and all like I kind of envision like Selja's holding on to the oar at this point, like can't keep up. She's just done. And Grandcool is like, no, I'm done. Nav, take over. I can't keep up. The two deckhands make their way over, kind of see you, and begin scolding you a bit, telling you to pick up the pace, that you're going a bit slow, and they don't want to have to dock your pay if you don't do your job.
We're working on it. We're not very big.
Arms on fire.
Oh, we should make Soldier bigger.
Life flashing before eyes.
This is going to be terrifying.
Oh no.
You know she's going to panic.
Just make yourself bigger.
As the deckhand leaves, I want to get up and walk over. Tell Selja to come here.
Seeing God before eyes.
I want to. I want to twin spell enlarge reduce on myself and Selja.
Okay.
So we're now medium-sized goblinoids.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Oh god, how many sorcery points do I have to use for that? I don't even know.
Whatever
a lot.
whatever the spell is for
Okay, so it's a
twin spell, I think it's what it was.
double check to make sure.
So if it's level 2, it's 2.
Twin spell. Spells level. Yep, so 2. Alright. Yeah.
Okay.
That should give us a little bit of help on
Yeah,
some stuff.
For this going forward, I will go ahead and give the two of you, now that you are enlarged, advantage on your next 2 rolls. How long? What's actually the duration is what?
It's a minute.
It's-
Oh, shit. Oh god, it's only a minute.
Oh, that's
Points.
super unfortunate.
Um,
Look, see how good we're rowing now.
We're rowing fine. A minute passes. Oh shit! I didn't think this through.
uh,
I thought that was an hour.
I also thought it was an hour.
Yeah, I thought so too. But nope, it's a
I
minute.
don't get meta magic again until 10th. Yeah, I was like, did I get an extra meta magic? I can pick up extended spell. Nope. Okay.
So that'll last for a minute. The
I just want to look
commoner,
good while why the guys are over there looking at us.
the commoner sitting next to Selja looks a little terrified. Like sees little Selja walk by, and then as Selja comes back, is now almost twice the size. Just kind of looks and is like, "Oh my god, what the fuck just happened?"
So So DM, what would you consider a self-control check?
I don't know, like
Wisdom? I think
maybe
that's
wisdom.
probably
At this point, it would be
Okay.
wisdom. It would be wisdom for self-control.
All right, I'm gonna set my own DC at 15.
Okay.
Hey!
I do not like make a scary face and go rah. I just sit back down and row really good for a minute. And then I'm back to normal, and then I'm like, oh, damn.
And as you do so for that minute that you're rowing, the commoner sitting beside you is like, holy shit, this is so much easier. This is going, oh, son of a bitch, as you kind of shrink back down to your normal self.
Well,
Sorry.
clever
Listen,
quip.
it was good while it lasted.
It
Frank
sure
has
was.
performance issues.
No,
It's never happened to me
doesn't.
before.
This doesn't usually happen like this.
Usually stay big for longer.
All right, and I need one more rowing check here, so give me another strength check.
We could have timed this.
Hey.
Yay! Doc! Yay!
So
That's just dead.
at this side, so Nav is like struggling, like as this deckhand is walking by, like Selja just without fail continues to do horribly. The commoner is struggling, like his eyes are like bulging from his head at this point, trying to keep up. As the commoner or the deckhand passes and makes his way past Nav and Grancool, he looks over and Nav just like looks exhausted, like he's just kind of fallen back into his chair, and Grancool is like, no, everything's fine, this is okay, I've got this.
Doing it with one hand, looking
Yeah,
over and smiling.
it's fine.
Smile and wave.
The deckhand, as he passes by the two groups, just as he passes the second group, just kind of looks down and shakes his head a little bit as he continues back towards the front side of the boat.
It's not as easy as it looks.
Back up top, Lucas and Keelan, hey, what are you guys doing?
Killine's wandered off to find a rich
Ken, thank you for the follow, my
Alvarin
friend.
to seduce.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
Who are you looking to seduce? I'm sorry.
I didn't stutter. A rich owl baron.
Owl Baron. You don't see an Owl Baron. You do see one noble that has a bunch of feathers that kind of hangs from his tunic that he's wearing. But as you kind of watch, he looks a little out of place. Like, you don't know how he got invited, let alone you guys, to this boat.
But does he look wealthy?
It's questionable. I mean, they did let you aboard the boat, after all.
Yeah, but I
Morph,
look
thank
fabulous.
you for the follow, my friend.
My role to look like I belonged here was a nat 20.
It was. I'll say as you kind of pass by and you start making your way, all of the casino stuff is towards the center of the ship, so in this direction. So as you pass by, you make your way by the doorways and things of that nature, you kind of get to peek in and kind of see what's going on in each one of these rooms. As you do, kind of glance around, there are people sitting at the bars, there are people playing the various games. There are several games that you can play aboard this ship. The casino itself, or within the casino itself, the guests are all nobles of various races and ethnicities. And they're each playing games that favor themselves and their personalities and indulging in the free liquor that is supplied aboard the ship. They have very attractive dealers that sit at each one of the gaming tables, trying to encourage the drunkards a bit to spend a little more money and kind of make money for the Grand Dame itself. As you kind of enter into the casino, Kilane, your eyes fixate upon a pretty beautiful woman to the southeast of this chamber, clad in a very gorgeous purple dress. She has very long hair that's been braided and kind of pulled back and wrapped around her head, and a very stunning necklace set with black stones around her slender neck. She sits next to a very gaudy dressed older man, and they just finished a game of Sava, and as you begin to walk in the room, the white-haired noble kind of pushes his stack of golden goose coins across the table and kind of stands up from his chair. As he does, he kind of clears his throat and says, I don't know how you do it, Lady Italia. You seem to know my every move before I even know it myself. Thank you for the game. A bit dejected as he kind of bows graciously to her, leaning forward and kissing her on her hand that she now has extended in his direction. She kind of smiles at the old man a bit as he kind of looks around the room and says, Now, I think I need to find another table, lest I squander all of my coin that I spent my lifetime acquiring here at yours. And he quickly turns around and walks away. And as he does, the woman kind of looks up from the table, watching as he leaves, and says, yes, you go do that, Lord Hubert, until next time, anyways. Do we lose Keelan?
Maybe for the moment.
Oh no. We can assume that Lucas is there with her.
Yes, I'm making my way down.
Okay. You make your way in here, pointing out to the woman to the southeast of this chamber in the purple dress. And I know I have a handout for this, damn it. Yeah.
Staring right at it.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap.
I think I figured out who our young noble friend maybe got in trouble with.
So.
Possibly. Well, didn't he mention a purple dress? Or was I
Purple
just
dress
making...
and I believe golden hair.
And the golden goose.
In the golden goose. With the candlestick.
With the candlestick.
And Colonel
Sorry, I'm
Mustard.
In the library.
You, it was Colonel Mustard.
Killing A, you're dead.
Kilane missed the entire introduction of Lady Italia.
Yeah. Some asshole placed an online order and then immediately canceled it once I was finished.
Yay!
I heard up until the guy said that he cashed her out and he was leaving.
Yeah, and he kind of walked away, and as he turned his back and started walking away, kind of muttering that he didn't want to squander all of his life savings playing against her, she kind of grinned at him and said, "Yes, you go do that, Lord Hubert, until next time."
Keelan approaches.
She kind of
Why don't
looks up in your direction.
How many chairs are open at the table?
There are 4 chairs at this table.
Okay. I will approach also.
Okay.
What are we playing?
She looks up at you and says, "Well, Sava, of course."
Ah, yes, Safa, the game of champions and kings. I too will play. And she sits down.
With a bit of a soft smile, she kind of nods in agreement, motioning for you to take a seat next to her. Says, yes, sit. I assume you know how to play, yes? I mean, after all, I am very good at this game.
Of course I do. My friend, however, does not. So for his sake, why don't you go over the rules?
Yes, please do.
Okay. And she begins to go over the rules of the game of Sava, which is basically, if I'm not mistaken, is a lot like chess. Looking it up 1 second. 1 second.
How do you spell that?
Sava. It's a game created by the Drow. Yes, it's very much like chess, resembling soldiers on a battlefield. Basically, it plays very similar to how chess is played, and there is a die involved. It's called the random die, but for the sake of this, you will not actually be playing the game.
Ah, dang it.
There are other games you can play, but this is the only game that is not set up to be played within game. She kind of looks over the two of you and says, so tell me, what is your name? What brings you here to Yartar, travelers?
I'm Keelan. This is Lucas. We're very excited to be here.
She kind of looks at you, not really sure how to take you. Give me... Give me a wisdom save. Keelan.
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of looks at the two of you and says, travelers, yes, it's interesting. You've had quite the journey, I can assume, yes?
Yes.
All the way from Golden Fields.
Golden Fields? That sounds very interesting. You say your name was Lucas, yes?
That is my name, yes.
And what is your part in all of this? You seem a little out of place.
What makes you think that?
Oh, I don't know. You don't exactly strike me as a noble of sorts.
Was it the flip-flops? Did the flip-flops give it away?
Rats. I knew I should have changed my shoes. Maybe I recently acquired the status. And so I haven't quite figured it all out yet.
He's a wealthy owl baron, you know.
Keelan, give me another wisdom save, please. This time you get this sense, like a probing sense, like somebody's trying to get into your head and trying to understand you a little bit.
You know, it's common courtesy to ask permission before you use magic on somebody.
And she kind of blushes a bit and kind of
Shit.
looks away a little bit and says, I have no idea what you're talking about, madame.
Don't you, though?
Do I?
On top of being an owl baron, he's also a very skilled magician, as am I. And your magical probing is charming, but not welcome.
Then perhaps we have nothing to discuss.
We could still play a game of Savant without you trying to read our minds and know our moves. Could you actually win on your own skill?
Oh shit!
Ooh!
Oh shit!
Again, she blushes a bit and looks in your direction and says, how dare you accuse me of cheating, lady?
Well, if you're not cheating, then you have nothing to worry about.
Okay. Go ahead and give me... Are you trying to get into her head a bit? Now that you know that she's trying to do something?
Kind of, but this is also just how winter is.
Yeah, I know.
It's like I just have to be a cold bitch.
That's why I was asking first before.
It's a little of both, where it's like winter has no filter, so she's kind of, but
Okay.
she's as amused as she can be because this person got outed for using magic.
Give me, because it's unintentional, give me an intimidation check at disadvantage. Okay. So as you're kind of
Hand stare.
yeah, like as you're kind of saying this, and you feel that your words are very meaningful, and you're trying to get to her a little bit, even though it's almost unintentional. She kind of chuckles at you and kind of plays it off and like acts as if it's nothing, and says, "Yes, very well. Let's play a game of Savage, shall we?" And she begins to lay out the board and kind of brings out the random die and places it on the board. And the two of you, I'm assuming, not Lucas,
No.
will be playing this game. So the first 3 rounds, we'll do it by 3 rounds. The best of 5 wins the match, and it will be based on a performance check.
Oh, excellent.
So go ahead and give me your first one here.
Oh,
Hey.
come on.
Yeah, look at that. So first game, the first few rounds, you're beginning to set the stage. You start moving the pieces across the board, and you're playing quite well. She kind of looks at you, a bit impressed, actually. Though you can tell she's not using any of her magical prowess to try to figure out and read exactly what it is that you're going to do. And she kind of looks up at you and says, you never did tell me what brings you here to the Grand Aim.
We were awarded a bit of a trip on this cruise for helping out one of the noble families. Lucas and I here are just enjoying the time. It's a bit of a holiday.
Helping out the nobles, so that's quite the adventure, isn't it? What noble family did you help out?
I'm gonna name the because I really need to write down these incredibly hard names you keep throwing at us. The main lady. I'm gonna say we did a job for her.
The
Not
Rosolio?
Rosolio.
Not Rosolio?
Not
Ruthiel.
Rosolio. Ruthiel.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah,
the Water
we
Baron.
Did, we did a favor for the Water Baron, and I'm just gonna roll all of this into that deception that I rolled.
Okay. Actually, I'm not even going to roll that because she's not looking to detect if you're lying to her. As you kind of mentioned that you're doing this job for the Water Baron, she kind of looks at you and nods somewhat approvingly. Says, "That's quite noble indeed. Is it a job specific to the Grand Dame, or are you just here for a fun and adventure for the evening?"
Hoping it will be fun and adventure now that you're here, Lady Italia.
She kind of, again, blushes a little bit and looks away. Go ahead and give me your next performance roll for the next 3 rounds. So once again, unable to tap in, or not attempting to tap into her magical prowess, you continue to kind of set the stage and dominate the second portion of the game of Savage as you're placing your pieces along the board and you grab for the random die, and as you roll it, it kind of falling in your favor. She kind of looks up at you and says, I have never experienced such a powerful foe in the game of Savage, though. Perhaps maybe you were on to a little something before.
Well, you were doing yourself a real disservice. You're not too bad at this game yourself. I think the men might have just been more intimidated by you than ever actually needing to use the magic.
She kind of nods and says, "Yes, that's very well could have been the case. I mean, I do have that effect on men." And she kind of looks down, and after a couple of minutes, she kind of looks back up at Keelan and says, "So tell me, what made you decide to approach my table?"
Well, it's a very nice dress, first of all. Second, I was admittedly looking for somebody else, but I was drawn over here.
Somebody else. I do frequent this boat. Perhaps I could help you find them.
Lucas, do you remember the name of who we're looking for? Oh, wait, he's not here.
I am back.
Oh, he's back? Okay.
Yeah.
Albaron. They don't remember. Kind of seeing Lucas scramble for his words a bit, Lady Atalia reaches out, kind of places her hand upon his, kind of calming him a bit, and says, No, dear, it's quite okay. It's okay that you don't remember. But you're here now, and obviously I've caught your attention, both of you.
Maybe we were looking for you. Don't remember.
Give me a wisdom save, Lucas.
Okay. God damn it. Woo!
Here's a book. It's called Lucas. It's open to you.
Yeah, pretty much. She looks at you and thinks for a second. Doesn't really pay any attention to Lucas. Looks back over in the way of Keelan and says, "That's quite interesting. What know you of the Rosolios? It seems you have quite the connection to them."
Well, we're new arrivals in Yardar, so I think this was their attempt to keep us in their good graces, and I must admit it's working.
Perhaps. I could tell just by your attire. The Rosolio family has a very distinctive clothing line that they wear around our fair city, so it's obvious that that's who you are here for.
Ah, yes, but enough about us. What is it that you do in this city?
You could call me a professional gambler if you so choose. That's mostly what I do here. I take my winnings and make a honest living in that way.
Very interesting. Lucas, we didn't have to adventure this whole time. We could have just been gambling. And that's
Man.
sincere, but it probably doesn't sound as much with her tone
Oh yeah,
right now.
yeah. It absolutely wouldn't come off as sincere. She kind of looks at you and squints a little bit.
I know she probably doesn't sound very sincere, but she was very sincere with that statement.
I'm not a normal elf. I'm not really from around here. You'll have to forgive my tone. You've caught me on a winter day.
She kind of looks at you, raising an eyebrow a little bit, not really understanding, and says, "Oh no, it's quite all right. But perhaps we should get back to our game. Yes."
Indeed, we're almost finished now.
Ooh.
Oh, wow, good roll.
19. Come on. Yeah.
Oof.
So she kind of sees or hears a bit of arrogance in your voice as you say so, and begins moving the pieces in the right direction, and things start falling into her favor. And she says, "So, the Rosolio, huh? That's an interesting situation with their noble son."
Well, what have you heard about him?
Well, he always visited here. I played a few games with him. He's not very good with money, I can say that.
Do you play with him often?
I have a few games. Nothing too terribly out of the ordinary. Kind of not too dissimilar to Lord Hubert there. Kind of pointing to the individual who she was playing before. Says, "People come and go, and I take their money and go home happy every evening."
Forge, what color is this dress? It looks kind of blackish, a little purple.
It's a blackish purple.
Oh ho!
Yeah.
I do remember, even though it was a fair bit over a month ago, a description of a woman in purple.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, so you missed that. After I showed the picture, everybody is like, "Oh, lady in purple dress with golden hair." Now it all makes sense.
Yeah. It looked black. That's why I needed to clarify. Now that you mentioned she knew the boy.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't had any private liaisons with him?
Oh, no, dear. He's far too young for something like that.
You'd be surprised. Keeps moving pieces.
Let's see. All right, we'll go for the next roll here. Ooh, can Kilene end it?
I would need to roll a nat 1 to match her.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Kilene continues moving the pieces, and even though Lady Atalia was kind of getting the upper hand and things were moving in her favor for a moment, Kilene put a quick end to it, ended up capturing the king and ending the game. Lady Atalia looks a little shocked, kind of looking up from the table. First time she has lost in almost about 3 years sitting here at this table.
Damn.
She kind of looks up at Kilene and says, "Well, I would have never expected. It's quite interesting."
It's a common mistake. This is a drow game. Humans put too much value in the king, but normally when the queen is lost, the game is over.
And she kind of nods and says, "That's quite true. Well, I suppose you won this fairly." And she slides over what you can assume is just what she is calling her fair share of tokens, which is 15 of these tokens. Just sliding them over to you as if it's nothing. Like, you watch as on the side of the table that she's sitting at, there are stacks of these tokens, and she just kind of brushes them off and into her pouch that she has, and just without even thinking about it, 15 tokens right over to you.
Well, thank you very much, Lady Atalia. It's been a pleasure getting acquainted with you. Are you in a hurry to go anywhere else?
She kind of looks around and says, well, seeing as how they just dropped anchor, I don't think we'll be going anywhere anytime soon.
Can I buy you a drink then?
All right. And as you guys are doing that,
Hashtag free liquor already, though.
hashtag free liquor, though.
Lucas is like, I'm happy to just be here.
I am
Yup.
here to drink and have fun.
And give away information, apparently.
Back at the bottom of the ship, you hear as the deckhands begin to shout out instructions, telling you guys exactly when and where you're going to be stopping, counting down the number of strokes of the oar that you'll be doing. And as they do, they finally yell halt. You tilt the oar up into the air. The boat kind of coasts along for just a moment, and then you hear the clinking sound of the ratchet as it releases and drops the anchor down into the water, stopping the boat almost instantly. The boat kind of creaking as it comes to a halt. As it does, the deckhands kind of shout out to the rest of the crowd, or to the rest of the commoners who are working in the bottom side here, and kind of shout that you now get your break, and to be mindful of the bell, as you will only have 30 minutes to return to your seat after the bell is rung.
Selja is absolutely collapsed on the ground, and when they say, okay, you're done, she just lifts one hand in the air, just like, help me.
I'm gonna lean over Selja. What's wrong?
So much rowing.
It looked to me like you had that lady do it. Is that a lady? I can't see.
F's in the chat for Selja,
I'm gonna assume that's
the
a lady.
dead goblin rower.
Can't.
You're a bugbear, they all
Ev.
want ladies.
All right, so it is at this time that you know you can probably make your way back up topside, though they do suggest that you do not bother interrupt the other nobles on the top side. However, there are a few spots where you could go should you choose to gamble away some of your fortunes, where they will not interrupt you or bother you. You can also get a couple of drinks if you want to, obviously.
I want a drink.
Well, let's go.
All right, so we're able to freely move about the cabin now.
Yep. And you have stairways to the south and to the north. I'm actually going to remove this doorway and this doorway because those should be opened up for you guys. So you can see there are stairs that'll lead back up to the top side should you want to go that direction.
Well, I don't see any drinks down here, so just stretch my arms out and everything, stretch my legs, and like, all right, let's go topside. Let's see if we can find some drinks.
All right. So you make your way down and towards the stairway to the southeast here. I'm going to move you guys individually. There's one. There's two. And next, I'll just place you here. So once again, and this doorway should be open too. You can look in. As you kind of look from where you're located, you do see that there are a few gambling tables and things of that nature. There are a couple of bar tops and the like that you could go up to, grab a free drink, get some food, kind of get yourself replenished and revitalized a little bit. From where you stand, you do see right here there's a spiral staircase that leads upstairs, though it's somewhat discouraged that you go up in that direction. But obviously they won't do too much to stop you. As I kind of mentioned, you just don't want to interrupt the true nobles and things of that nature.
Oh, so the true nobles go upstairs. Got it.
I'm laughing that they say that you don't want to do that. I totally want to do that.
I totally want to go up there.
I want to find where the free drinks are, first and foremost.
All right. You do see the table here that is kind of lined with different drinks and food that you can quickly just walk up and grab one as you go. There is a bar back over in this direction, kind of closed off in that room there if you wanted to go there and get a specific drink. But beyond that, what you have there would be most of what you'll be able to find.
I'm going to immediately walk up to the table. What kind of food do I see?
You see it's mostly just small finger foods. Some sausages, things of that nature, some apples and fruits and other things. There's nothing super filling. You would have to eat a lot of it to be full.
Oh, I was planning on it. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to start shoving everything meat-based into my mouth. With no regards to anybody watching it.
That looks good. Okay, Nav ate it. Wait, that looks good. Nav ate it.
Nav, slow down. You're gonna give yourself hiccups.
Wait, con save for hiccups?
His
Con
one
save for
weakness,
hiccups.
hiccup.
Yeah, con save for hiccups.
Oh,
Oh, you now have hiccups. So as you get ready to shove the next piece of meat into your mouth, you begin to hiccup and you kind of choke on it a bit.
I'm just going to keep shoveling food in my mouth.
All right. You kind of watch. You notice the floor's kind of cleared out. Everybody is pushing more towards the gambling tables, more in this direction, kind of separating themselves from the rest of you. Anything specific you would like to do aside from food and drink, obviously?
Who do I see out here in front of me? I'm assuming like people sitting at tables and gambling and stuff.
Yeah, most of what you see here are people that are sitting at gambling tables. You see several dealers, mostly female, that are playing the various games. They have looks like 6 different games that are 5 different games that are played specifically here that they have dealers for. Some dice games, some card games, things of that nature. But that's mostly what you see. Each one of these tables represents one of those locations where somebody is playing something specific.
Okay. Looking up the stairwell, do I see anything of the floor above, or is it just like going up into a hole in the floor above?
It spirals up a good ways. The ceiling is about 15 feet up from where you stand. And as you kind of peer up and look, it's a little hard because it is a spiral staircase, so it kind of curls above itself. But you're able to kind of take a quick glance through, and you're able to see there are some nobles that are dressed very, very in some very ornate clothing compared to what these individuals do. All of their garbs are very fancy, and as you look up, it's like they're draped in gold and gems and like from head to toe. It's obvious that these are where the high rollers probably reside.
Between bites, stabs, gonna look at Grinkle. We should go up there.
I think it'd be fun, but let's wander around for a few minutes at least before going up there. Basically, I just want to kind of nom on some little food and have a drink and just wander around, not talk to anybody or anything like that, but just listen.
Just kind
See
of
if I
listen.
Yeah, catch names, catch conversations, anything that may seem pertinent to Artin, who we rescued, or the disappearances of nobles, the Hand of Yartar.
Okay.
Yeah, any of those conversations, any of those things. That's what I'm listening for.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Awesome.
As you're kind of wandering through the crowd, there are so many people here, and you're kind of shoving your way through, just trying to make your way in. It's kind of disorienting to you. And as you're pushing through, you're hearing a bunch of whispers, but you have no idea what people are talking about. At times you wonder if they're even talking, like perhaps they're just talking about you, seeing you kind of wandering through the crowd. It seems a little out of place to see a goblin here and aboard this ship. As you guys start making your way kind of out and trying to find your... obviously there's no pathway here because everything's kind of blocked off. As you begin to make your way out around the outer edges of the ship, you too are also greeted with Pao Ming, who kind of walks up to you, and again, a very stern look on her face, kind of looks over the group of you and says, rowers, yes?
Well, we are, because they didn't want to put us anywhere else. We're much more able to do other jobs.
Sel just like hanging off of Grand Cool's back, just like, so couldn't eat anything. Haven't been able to rest.
She kind of looks at the group of you and back over at Nav, who's, I'm assuming, still kind of munching down on...
Oh yeah, I grabbed a handful and we're still just popping in.
The term you're looking for is inhaling.
Inhaling at this point.
Soldier glares at him every now and then, like, come on, man.
Come on, give me some food. She kind of looks over the rest of the party after seeing Nav kind of inhaling all of the food and says, perhaps I can interest you in some food and water.
Say yes.
Ooh, you have some?
Yes, we can get you some if that
More
would help.
My friend is very hungry. Both my friends are very hungry.
Gonna die.
Well, I can definitely see that your friend in the back there is quite hungry. Perhaps we can arrange something. I can talk to the cooks and see what we can come up with.
Do you have any turkey?
Don't give him any turkey.
Kind of looks. She kind of looks over the group and says, "I don't think we have turkey."
Either way, even without the turkey, you're very nice. Who are you? You're much nicer than everyone else we've met.
She kind of bends down, getting somewhat closer towards you, and very graciously reaches her hand out and says, my name is Pao Ming. I'm the head of security here aboard the Grand Dame.
Oh, so you're who I needed to talk to about getting hired for guard duty.
Yes, your name was brought up by one of a friend of ours, actually.
A friend? Which friend was this? She kind of looks...
Scroll. We talked to a Lady Desia, and she mentioned your name when we were looking for employment.
That's very strange. Lady Rosolio usually doesn't send individuals here. Give me a deception check. She kind of stops, looks at you, kind of runs her hand across the robe that she's wearing, this kind of yellow and green robe, kind of brushing it off a little bit, and says, odd. I didn't specifically request to her, but it is very kind that she would send somebody here. Perhaps, maybe, some other time we would need some security guards. I'm certain that your services would come in handy.
Oh, I'm sure they could be.
He's
We are very
strong.
We're all very strong, just not with Grinkle kind of raises his arms up, flexing. Not with these always.
Yes, I can pretty much assume that would be the case, but that's okay. Everybody has their own unique talents.
Indeed. So I'm assuming with you walking around, nothing is untoward on the ship tonight.
She nods and says, yes, another quiet night aboard the Grand Dame. It's the way it should be, anyways.
We did hear some disturbing talk of issues with your last voyage. Broken pieces of the ship or the oars and such. It delayed you, if I'm recalling correctly.
She kind of grimaces a bit and looks at you and nods and says, yes, it was quite unfortunate. We were stuck out into the river for a bit longer than we would have liked. Thankfully, we have a very competent crew that was able to get the ship up and running again and get us back here in no time.
Of course, of course. Just wanted to make sure that nothing like that was happening again. This is our first time here, after all.
She kind of grins and says, I don't foresee something like that happening unless your friend back there begins to cause a little bit of trouble downstairs. Kind of looks back at Nav.
Oh, if I cause trouble downstairs, the oars are the least of our worries.
He won't cause any trouble as long as we keep him fed and happy. He's fine.
She kind of grins and says, yes, we can definitely keep him fed. That's not a concern here.
Very good, then. It was very nice meeting you, Pao Ming.
She kind of bows a little bit and says, and nice to meet you, though I did not catch your name.
With a big grin and a bit of flourish with his singed cape of his cloak, he bows and looks up and says, Grinkle the Feared, at your service.
Oh, the Feared. And what gives you such a name?
Well, it turns out that I'm actually a god.
And she stops and just kind of looks at you.
Nav is just nodding his head up and down with his mouth full of little tasty meats.
Grinkle just stares with a big smile.
After a few seconds pass, a bit of an awkward silence, she just kind of straightens her robe a little bit and kind of clears her throat and said, oh, very well. I won't keep you. The food is right around the corner at the bar. If you want to go up there, I will ensure that our people send plenty of food for you for the rest of the evening. Though, if I could also interest you, you could head back downstairs. They do keep plenty of food for all the rowers downstairs as well.
Very well. We will sample what's up here first and take up your recommendation later.
And she kind of nods and kind of bows again and starts making her way back along the side of the ship, back towards the front.
What a nice lady.
Why does everyone think I'm going to cause trouble?
It's because you opened that big trap with the captain. Word spread
she
about
wasn't
you.
even there.
Word spreads, Nav. People talk to each other.
Why?
I don't know. They feel like it. Why am I talking to you right now?
I don't know. Let's go get food.
Okay. I'll head off towards the bar, I think is here. I don't know where a door is or what's a window. Or...
Yeah, each one of these are doorways that you can walk in and out of.
Okay.
Oops.
Oh, God.
Overboard! Bugbear, overboard!
Actually, I could probably get rid of that one because that one doesn't make sense.
Linus was so crazy.
Yeah. So much stuff everywhere.
I think we found the boiler room.
Is this a bar?
Yeah. So yeah, you begin to walk up towards the bar. It's pretty packed in here. You can tell many of the rowers don't come down in this area or come up in this area. Though the person that's running the bar still greets you with a smile and kind of looks over at the three of you and says, yes, what can I get for you? Is there anything specific that is not down in the underbelly of the ship?
Yeah, turkey.
Zeldra rolls up the nearest piece of paper and just baps Nav on the nose.
She kind of, the waitress kind of clears her throat and says, let me go and see what I could come up with. You have to give me a second, though. I'm not sure that we have turkey on board. She quickly rushes away, heading towards the cook
Wait, you
station.
forgot my friend's order.
I'm never going to be able to eat anything.
So we'll go back to Keelan and Lucas.
What?
Ah!
You didn't want to eat food anyways, it's fine.
Keelan and Lucas, what are you guys doing? Still chatting with Lady Atalia, I assume.
Yeah, chatting's a word for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, what would you like to chat with her about?
Would like to get to know her more
Okay.
better.
Okay, what would you like to know about her?
So how did you decide gambling professionally is the way to go about this life?
She kind of looks at you and says, well, to be honest, I never really chose this life, but it seems like a safe living to make as long as you play by the rules and don't really do anything that would get you any cross looks from the casino owners. Play legit and everything is fine.
What was the name of the girl syndicate?
Hand of
Hand-
the Artar.
Yeah, that one.
Thank you. And you don't often get your hands dirty?
As you kind of say that, she
Here in Yartar.
She kind of looks up at you, kind of almost like kind of looking away, almost giving you like the side eye as she kind of looks at you and says, I have no idea what you speak of. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's just that, well, when we had met young Artan Rosolio, he had mentioned a golden-haired beauty in a dress much like yours. And that was before he had a nasty spill down a river.
She kind of looks at you. Her cheeks kind of flush as you say that and says, spill down the river, you say. And what's happened to him? I assume that he's safe at home, yes?
You mean you don't know?
She kind of shakes her head and says, of course I don't know. I've only played a few games of Sva with him. That's why I'm familiar with the noble himself.
You wouldn't have any idea how he ended up almost near Waterdeep. Swimming, as it were.
She kind of shakes her head and kind of lowers it a little bit and says, I'm afraid I'm not quite familiar with what this is you speak of. Again, I've only played Sva with him a few times. Keelan, in the back of your head, as she says this and she kind of looks away, you hear her voice enter into your head. And about that time, you see as Pao Ming enters into the room. You hear as she says, "Don't panic. Pretend everything is fine. We need to talk, but not here." Pao Ming watches closely. "Follow me when the boat returns to the docks. Nod if you understand me."
She puts her hand into her palm and kind of nods once.
And with that, she kind of nods at you as well and says, "Well, I would love to stay and continue to chat, but unfortunately I have many more people I need to play for the evening, or unfortunately for them," and she kind of chuckles a bit.
Oh, well, that's fine. Lucas, I'm going to go powder my nose now that we're done here.
Okay. I will be at the bar.
Okay. And with that, she stands up, curtsying a bit towards Keelan and Lucas, before wandering over to the table to the southwest, walking up, placing her hand on the shoulder of the somewhat young gentleman that's sitting at the table by himself, before pulling out the seat and sitting down and kind of bringing out the Savah board to begin playing him. And actually, with that, we will take a quick 5-minute break.
Huzzah!
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 All right, 5-minute break. We come back, we continue,
Wait,
and we figure
Call
out
it
where
now.
they're going to
She's
go
an
with this.
aboleth.
So, thank you
I
all
don't
for
know,
being here.
dude.
Happy to have you here.
He definitely knows something.
But
Makes
we'll be
perfect
back
sense when
in 5 minutes.
when you think
So,
about
thank
it.
you for hanging out.
And she may not be on the wrong side.
No, it's probably the lady with the snake motif.
Yeah, she's probably an aboleth.
Maybe
Yes.
I'm an aboleth.
We're all aboleths. You're all
I
getting
mean,
it.
you could be an aboleth. They're druid.
I don't think they can turn into
No,
aberrations.
yeah, no, we can't. Maybe with true polymorph, but that's like 9th level spell.
Level 17.
Level 17? Good luck. Alright, I'll be right back.
Don't worry, guys. I'll turn into an aboleth, and then stuff. I don't know.
It's okay. In my other campaign where I'm a druid, there's also a warlock, and we're gonna have a dragon battle when we hit level 17.
There you go.
I am a dragon now.
Yeah, if we ever hit 17 in the Civil War, that'll be what I do too. Who needs a Draco Lich? I am a dragon.
Ow.
Would you die?
Banged the crap out of my foot against my computer.
Yeah, that'd do it.
It hurts.
But the important thing is, you didn't die.
I didn't die. This is true. What does that one entail?
It's the one from Fallout 4. They have a place called Nuka World, and they have a theme song for it. It's kind of like Disney World, but they have a theme song for it. Yeah. So I had a clip of that for I think it's 9 to 11 month, and then next month you'll have the 1 year sub mode or sub alert.
Give it to me.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Just want you guys to know I am struggling to stay awake, and it is not your fault.
It's your fault. It's
We
Tomb
have-
Raider's fault.
We haven't.
It's not Tomb Raider's fault either. I was only up until about midnight, and then
Don't
I was
worry.
like, I'm gonna be a responsible adult and go to bed. And then I opened my phone, and I started playing with my fantasy football waivers, and then I started a movie, and then it was a 3-hour-long movie, and next thing I know, it was 3:30 in the morning, and I was like, oh my god.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk back on some of the "it's not your fault" words that
That's
we
like kind of all
thrown
your
because
fault.
yeah, it's absolutely your fault now.
No, I said it's not Tomb Raider's fault. It's totally my fault.
Yes,
No.
it's not Tomb Raider's fault.
I'm just look. I'm trying to make you feel bad. Okay.
All right, so going around, who are we missing? Keelan, are you here?
Well,
Nope.
Okay.
Lucas, you here?
well,
Nope.
I think I know who we're gonna focus on first.
All right. So coming back from break, Nav, Selja, and Grancool, you have made your way to the bar, asked for some food, or Nav has asked for some food. The waitress comes back. She has this tray of food that she kind of brings up and kind of places on top of the bar here. And as she sets it down, you kind of look it over. There are some small pheasants and things of that nature that have been cooked, but no turkeys because they didn't have anything of that nature. She kind of looks up at you, almost ashamed, and says, I'm sorry, we didn't have anything quite as what you were looking for.
Oh, this'll do. It's fine. But you forgot to ask Selja what she wanted.
Selja has already stolen a pheasant and is just devouring it.
She kind of...
Nav looks absolutely like mortified that you stole food from him.
She kind of looks up at Nav and gives him this look like, oh, I thought this was for the three of you.
Selja just stands up on the chair to be equal height to Nav and then just like stares at him in the face as she just takes another giant bite out of the pheasant.
Nav's gonna pick up the plate of food, and he's just gonna walk away to the other side of the bar. Can't trust anyone these days, not even goblins.
You took all of the other food. You
She
brought
was
this
gonna bring
upon
you your
You
own.
brought this on yourself.
It's funny.
You'll rue the day, Nav. Rue.
as this is all going on, Grancool is just, doing the whole hand fingers onto the top of the bridge of his nose, just shaking his head. Like, the people I put up with.
I know,
it's
right? But Karsnook isn't here, so I don't know why you're doing that angry look.
Doing the angry look.
With a groan, I say, if you're done,
I mean, I
maybe
have like half of this thing left, and he has an entire plate.
Well, you're smaller than him, okay?
I'm just saying we're not done yet. I'm sorry.
Throw a
No, I'm done. I'm
ration
done.
at your head.
Navin held all the food. He's done.
You can eat and walk. Let's walk around. Let's enjoy our time when we don't have to row.
Should we go upstairs now?
That sounds like fun. I'm sure nothing
Sure,
bad will
let's
happen
go.
if we do that.
Nothing bad will happen.
She has like half the pheasant in her mouth. Let's go. I'm alright.
This is gonna go fine.
Mm-hmm. So as you make your way back outside of the chambers and head back out to the outer sides of the ship, you start walking out onto the walkway, and at which point you see Lucas, who has managed to sneak his way out behind Keelan after leaving Lady Atalia behind.
Is there anybody else around us that could hear if I was to talk or see us or anything?
Pao Ming is just on the other side of the door. They just left from that chamber. She's standing directly beside Keelan right now. But she's kind of making her pass, like as she's kind of walking through.
I'm also making my way to the bar.
So they're coming towards you.
Okay. As Lucas walks towards me, I'll look up and say, "They have excellent food and drink in there. Noble person that I don't know."
No.
Oh, really?
Hi, Lucas.
Absolutely perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I just smile in response to Belgium.
Well, since you're going in there, we'll go ahead and stay out of your way, noble person. But if you ever need anything from the rowers, we'll be upstairs.
Oh, really? Okay.
And with that, I'll start walking down, heading
Okay.
back towards the bottom room.
Okay.
Wrinkles, James Lucas. How could you forget?
We'll turn around and just karate chop Selja to the top of the dome. Just dunk. We're under
Ow.
cover. Stop talking to the nobles. We're not supposed to bother them.
But he's not one. Wait, is he?
Shit. He is now.
Oh, hey, good job.
It's like, are we? We've been throwing our real names around this whole time.
Yeah, nobody asked about their real names
Yeah,
afterward.
that's true. We don't know that they've been given their real name.
As you guys make your
Doggo.
way back to the south and head back in to the chamber here, you do notice the golden goose setting at the center of the table, which you caught your eye before. It didn't really bother you much, but as you continue looking it over, it's like you get kind of flashbacks of the conversations you had with Artan. You kind of remember him saying something about the golden goose.
There
Does
was
this-
something about this thing, right?
It's this table here.
Does the golden goose look alive, or is it a statue? What's
It's
it made of?
it's a large statue made of solid gold.
How much would it weigh?
Probably close to like 400 or 500 pounds.
Damn. That's a big goose.
Pretty
It's-
sure I can pick that up.
It's solid gold. Big solid.
Okay, I
gold.
just wanted to know in case someone ever
Mhm.
needed to move that for any reason.
It's,
All right, here's the plan. We get a rope. We tie the thing.
Put it in a bag of
If
holding.
it
Oh,
needs to
what we
be
do that?
saved when a boat sinks.
As Selja walks up to the stairway and kind of places her hand on the railing, you hear the chime of a loud bell ringing.
I can't go back, Grant
over
Cole.
the ship.
You can't make me go back.
You know, in all fairness, I don't really care about the money. I was enjoying the work.
I'm not doing it.
Can't
I
you?
was doing it for the
Can't you wild shape into something?
Oh yeah, that's not gonna set off anybody.
Listen, if you can be something that can row both sides for us,
It
they
only-
wouldn't need us.
I'll just turn into an octopus and just have at it. Anyway, so the bell, they said we had 30 minutes to get back, correct?
I missed the bell conversation.
Yeah, the 30 minutes from the bell.
All right, so
From
we
the
can.
bell?
I'm gonna look over the goose because it was brought to our attention that's with Artan. It was like there was a goose, and then a thing, and then an aboleth, and then I don't know.
He just said that he remembered a golden goose, so we know that whatever happened to him happened here.
Okay.
But a beautiful woman in purple.
10, unless someone wants to help me.
I think I'm helping. I'm looking around the room, looking for anything that may
20,
coincide with Artan's story.
23 with help.
The only thing you see, Selja kind of looking around. Yes, the goose looks out of place, though it is in the middle of a casino, and they do have like kind of, you know, set pieces and things of that nature that kind of spread throughout a casino. It seems to have a kind of different feel to you. You can't quite place it. Maybe it's just the story that you were hearing from Artan that makes you believe that there's something else to it, but for whatever reason you kind of place your eyes upon this golden goose and you just feel oddly distracted.
I grab it by the neck and I yank on it. Like a lever.
As she's reaching for it, can I reach up and grab her arm and hold a finger up for her to wait?
Okay. I'll describe how this happens. Selja, in a panic, rushes up, grabbing onto the neck of this goose and climbs up because she's not very big. This thing is like...
Way to rub it in, dude.
This thing is like 10 foot tall, so she kind of grabs onto it. She's like hanging onto the neck of it, like literally like using her feet to brace against the body of this thing and is like trying to pull at this thing. As she does, Grancool kind of reaches up like, no, Selja, stop. Like that slow motion, like, don't do this. As Grancool does, all of the nobles in this area kind of stop and take a look at her. And she just looks like she's gone insane.
So, I'm going to say I did not realize that this was the noble area. I thought this was where all of the rowers hung out.
Well, totally where the gambling.
All right. I'm not taking it back, but but out of character, I'm just letting everybody know I misunderstood.
Oh no, the entire upper two decks are full of nobles from what you can understand. And
yes, I know that now.
they're all rich. So they're looking at you. Yeah.
And they're all very distracted right this second, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, like
Okay,
they're
cool.
looking right at her now.
Right at her? Okay, cool. I'm going to turn around very quickly and cast Detect Magic.
Okay. What is 30 feet? Okay, let me get out my measuring tool and see where this goes.
I can see the entirety of the room.
Ooh.
Keep forgetting I'm pink in this game, and it makes me laugh every time.
What's this? Why is this pink? Oh, right.
So when we
Okay.
tell what happened, we're gonna say that this was entirely in the plan, so that Grand Coca cast magic.
Yep, that was exactly what it was.
I mean, of course it was.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why anybody thought
Mhm.
it differently. Like Selja randomly running up and grabbing a goose, that's just weird.
Come on, that's just strange.
That's just bizarre behavior.
Let's see. Looking for something. 1 second.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
Uh-huh.
I've said that before. It didn't turn out well for my players.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know.
So you see something,
Go on.
but it's not on your floor. As you're looking, you're kind of scanning over the ship and you're kind of trying to just see what's out there. And then suddenly your eyes glance upward to the floor above you. That's where you see a very strange looking being. It's kind of walking around. It's not strange so much as out of place. A magical pet octopus walking around on top of something in a room directly above you.
I honestly don't know what to do with this information.
And it has
found the aboleth.
And it has... What type of magic is this? Hold on.
Illusion.
Transmutation? Yeah.
Of
Transmutation.
course.
Mm-hmm. You detect transmutation magic up there.
Okay. I want to quickly. No. I'm gonna look at Nav. Nav, please get our friend off of the giant golden goose.
Why? She looks like she's enjoying herself.
Also bringing the attention of all the nobles.
Oh, well, right. Nev's gonna just reach up and pluck Selja off of the golden goose.
We are.
I think we should go upstairs real quick before we have to go down.
Okay. I'm not gonna set Selja down. I'm gonna carry her up the stairs with me.
So at about this time, it's been about 5 minutes has passed. You're noticing that at first the bell that was ringing, it rang multiple times, but you're noticing it's giving you almost like a countdown. After every 5 minutes, you hear another chime of the bell, as if it's counting down, telling you how much time you have. And it has chimed once since the 30-minute warning.
So we have 25 minutes, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, with that, I'll say, if we can keep our hands to ourselves, please. Let's go upstairs carefully.
Ankle. She has her hand in the air. And cool.
What?
His hands are on me.
Yeah, I'm still holding Selja.
Put her down now, please.
Oh, well, okay.
I need to make a sanity check. Is that a thing?
No, but I was thinking of doing Call of Cthulhu for October, so I'll let you know.
Getting real close.
Uh-huh.
With that, with another deep sigh. I was like, okay, all right. If we could please not draw any more attention to ourselves and get us in trouble with the crew.
Well, I thought that when he said something about the goose, that the goose might have had like a thing on it. And
When
that's
who
why
said anything? Nobody said anything about the goose.
Well, somebody talked about it.
A month ago.
I mean, yeah.
When you inadvertently call somebody out on metagaming. Hands in your pockets. Let's go upstairs.
I don't
Careful.
have a pocket.
I did. Something doesn't have pockets.
How do you not have pockets?
Sandra puts her hands in Grancool's
The
pockets.
fashion
And
industry.
yes, that's
is
weird
very-
and awkward, but
fashion- Yeah,
It works.
they don't like women. They want them to buy purses.
I feel like Selja would be the type of woman to have dresses or garments with pockets in it. It's just functional. Come on now.
yeah.
I thought we were going upstairs.
We are ripping Selja's hands out of my pockets.
Okay, so you're
Take
He
going
it off.
totally
upstairs.
like pulls your pockets inside out when you do.
What is the marching order for going?
I'm
upstairs?
last.
He
'cause
hasn't
I'm
told
gonna
us
wait by
about.
all the nobles that
I
are
haven't said
staring.
anything. I've just been.
So you haven't told us what's going on. So we're not going into this assuming that there's any sort of danger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then Selja wouldn't really care to be like, oh, well, then Nav should go first if there's danger, because he's the big one, and that's pretty much goblin tactics. You send the bugbear first. So
Let-
she'll march wherever.
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll go first. Just
Okay.
follow me.
And then
Then Selja than me.
Selja, then Nav. Okay.
And
All
as
right.
I'm leaving, I'm going to wave to all the nobles that are staring at us.
So as you make your way up the
God.
stairs,
This doesn't feel culty at all.
Hi,
As-
everybody.
as you climb the 15-foot stairway going up to the third floor here, you begin to notice the sound of music as you enter. This very smoky and very dim lit cabin chamber features a wooden stage where musicians and other entertainers perform at the pleasure of the Grand Dame's guests. A few tables and chairs sit along the walls, but this place is packed. People are standing and dancing and just having an all-around good time as they're here. Behind the curtain over here rests a hallway that leads what you can believe to be towards the bridge, the front of the ship. And there's a placard along the wall over here on the eastern side of the ship that reads, "Crew only."
We're part of the crew, right?
We're part of the crew.
Yeah, we
We're
row the boat.
rowers. We're the rowers. So at this point, detect magic still going. Where am I seeing this scary, odd octopus magic thing?
It's about 15 to 20 feet in front of you.
In the room or the next room?
Not
over?
in this room.
Okay. Oh, don't say that, Lucas. Davy Jones shows up. So everybody's just kind of like dancing, having a good time up here, not really paying attention.
Mhm.
Okay.
Everything seems just normal.
Hey, Grankle.
Yes.
She looks super awkward for a moment, and she just goes, "When we're done, can we dance?"
I tell you what, if you promise not to touch anything else and steal or cause a scene, maybe we'll dance.
Okay.
Now, be quiet. Follow me. And with that, I'm going to start taking off towards the northeast, towards this curtain.
Okay. So you're able
Excuse
to kind of
Pardon me. Excuse me. Pardon me.
slowly creep your way forward and make your way past
That's my foot.
the curtain. As you get past the curtain, you do see 3 doors lined to the west, along with another curtain up at the front. Each one of the doors are closed, however.
So I'm seeing creepy magic over there.
Mm-hmm. And then you see a door here, you see a door here, and another door up here.
I can't see your pings if you're pinging.
Oh, because I'm pinging on the... Yeah, you can see them now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there,
The silver
and
things,
the little
okay.
silver things, yeah.
Okay.
I have no idea what you're being. No, I'm kidding.
So I'm gonna move up towards this door and kind of motion for the other two to come up behind me. And as the curtain's falling behind them, I'm kind of whispering and say, "There's something strange in this room." And I'm point towards the wall to my west. Stay here. Be quiet.
Strange.
With my fingers kind of waving. Magical. And with that, I would like to do my best. I don't want to open the door. I don't even really want to touch it. I just want to listen.
Are these windows or like doorway openings?
They are doorway openings similar to what you had downstairs, so you could go in and out. And,
Archways?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go here so that I can also try to listen then.
Okay. Grancool, give me actually, both of you, give me a perception check. Cool.
Yeah.
You're listening in, paying attention to the doorway here, this chamber, and you're listening and you're listening. And then you hear a cough. But it's not coming from within the chamber, it's actually coming from your northwest. The chamber beside you is completely silent.
What did the cough? I mean, like a male cough?
Yeah,
female one, or...
It kind of reminds you of somebody waking up in the middle of their sleep and coughing a bit and then rolling back over and going back to sleep.
Oh, we hear just nothing, even though I can clearly see something on the other side moving back and forth.
Mm-hmm. You hear nothing inside of the chamber itself that you're standing at.
And I have no idea what this may be on the other side of the door based on what I'm seeing.
You see 8 tentacles, and it looks smallish.
Smallish?
Mm-hmm.
So just throw the cat in there.
It looks about your size, like it could easily wrap you up within the tentacles and probably smother you.
Oh, that's comforting.
Yeah, that's a very specific set of actions that you just.
It is a
warned
very
us about.
specific set of actions I just outlined there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like Nav should go first.
Now with that, I'm gonna point over to the outside where Nav is and have us all move out there so it's a little bit more secluded. Don't see anybody to the north or south moving around or anything.
To the north or south, no. As you start making your way, Nav, I assume, was kind of just walking the docks here. He could hear the crew in the chambers here to the north in what you are assuming is the bridge, kind of just navigating the ship, but beyond that, no.
Okay, so with us all out here, I'll whisper to both of them. There's something that I'm detecting inside that room. It's got 8 tentacles. It's not very large, but it's radiating. Abjuration, you said?
Transmutation.
Transmutation. It's radiating transmutation magic. Something odd is going on in that room.
I don't know what any of that means. I'm going to open the door slightly. And just kind of stick my head in.
You reach to the handle. Click, click. The door's locked.
I'm going to look back at Grinkle.
Another chime of the bell.
How flush with the ground is the door?
It has probably a 2-inch gap at the bottom of it.
Yeah, I could maybe turn into a mouse and go look. But I'll be, mouse-sized.
I could just kick the door in.
No.
Please don't kick the door in. If you don't mind, Selja, go ahead and try doing that. Just don't go into the room. Just get a quick peek and come back out. Let us know what you see.
Okay.
Don't go into the room.
I think he just wants me to poke my head under the door frame, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing. Because mouse versus octopus isn't anything that I want to be a part of. So I will use my wild shape to turn into a mouse, and then I will proceed to kind of wiggle my head underneath the door frame in that typical mouse way, because mice can go anywhere, collapsible skeletons and all. And I will take a peek through the door and hope that I don't die.
Okay, so you peek under the door, and this is what you see. The cabin appears to be of Lord Dryland, the owner and proprietor of the ship. And it is a testament to bad taste, with purple velvet curtains and scented candles and gaudy candelabras. In the middle of the room, on a table with a very large aquarium sitting atop of it, rests a small pet octopus on top of a coral reef in the center of it. The octopus wanders around within it, kind of swimming freely, doing its own thing, but it's not very big. Actually, kind of think that it's a bit undersized for most octopuses that you've ever seen in your life. You kind of look around, you take note of some of the other furnishings: a silk hammock to the southeast, a writing desk to the southwest. It's covered in quills and some loose sheets of parchment. A small table holding a silver wine decanter and matching goblets, and an iron stove to the north here. Chat, there's nothing in here.
So he said that the octopus was magicked in some way, or was giving off a transmutation aura.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? I have another use of wild shape if we want me to go back in. So I'm gonna pop back out, head over to Grand Cole. I'm gonna change back to normal.
It's
an
an octopus.
There's a small octopus in a tank in there. You can't get out. Or at least I don't think it can get out. It's someone's room. It's a really ugly room. Like, I lived in a goblin cave, and that room looks uglier.
It's a small octopus with
That's
reduced
impressive.
cast on.
I know.
That's all it is.
And there's a desk full of like stuff.
So there's an octopus transmutation.
But it's like a tiny octopus. It's like
He's keeping it small for the tank.
Well, I mean, it's just small. It's smaller than it should be.
That's something that can be done. Actually, thinking about my own spells that I have, I know that the enlarge portion of the spell is actually one side of enlarge reduce. Kind of explaining to them that you can shrink things with magic and make them smaller. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
but when you did that to us, it only lasted a minute.
Well, I mean, maybe he's really good at the spell. I don't know.
You're a god.
Gods are not. Oh wait, they usually are. Well, even gods forget things sometimes.
Anyway, I can do that trick one more time if you want me to go in. And I don't know, I could probably drag some of the papers out if you wanted to look at those.
The bell chimes again.
Ugh,
We are kind of running out of time. How many bells was that?
what, 15
Oh, we got
minutes?
5 minutes.
5 minutes?
I thought that was the fourth bell, wasn't it?
Third bell.
Oh.
Third bell.
I thought third bell.
So we got 10 minutes? 15 minutes.
15 if we want to get there
Okay.
late.
So 10 minutes, so we need to start moving that way. Okay, let's not be late and tick off the crew. I don't know what else to look at. We had a few names to go off of, but
Well, that's what I mean. It's someone's private quarters, so if I stole something, it might be something that we can read. I don't know.
did you see a desk in there?
Yeah, there was a desk with papers on it.
Go in there, get the papers, shove them under the door, let's go.
Do it quickly.
Quick, I only have one name, actually.
Well, do this and you can have 2.
Selja transforms into a rat because that's a little better for pulling stuff.
As you transform, Nav and Grankle, give me a perception check. Grankle, as you watch Selja kind of peek around the corner and begins to transform, you hear an audible click of a door to your north.
Where's Nav at? Right beside me, or?
Nav is right over beside Selja.
Reach over and quickly grab Nav and try to yank him outside.
What? What do you want? Stop.
There's somebody coming.
So?
Shush.
We're not doing anything wrong.
Oh, from that door. I thought it was in the other hallway. Meh.
In my efforts to
your
hide,
north.
I've made it worse.
In my efforts to hide. Yeah, so you heard it coming from the north, but obviously it kind of echoes through the area here because it's all kind of enclosed a bit. And the individual, which looks pretty common to you now as one of the crew members, you could tell this guy is a little more prestigious than the others. Kind of steps out into the hallway, looks back at the two of you, kind of squinting a little bit, and says, "You there? What are you doing up here?"
We're just making our rounds. Ming set
uh,
us up here to check everything out.
Give me a deception check. Okay. He just
Well,
turns
then.
around and starts walking the other direction.
Very
See?
cool. Lets out an
Told you.
audible noise as he lets his breath out. Ah.
We're not doing anything wrong.
So
Now, Seltzer, go steal those papers.
So just gives a rat salute and heads on in.
All
so-
right.
So I'm gonna go head over for the desk,
Okay.
and even though I'm a rat, I can still perceive and understand languages. So I'm gonna do a quick once over on all these papers, just to
Mhm.
look for anything of interest or that might note any names or anything.
As you make your way past something that was blocked by the stand that the aquarium is standing on the back side here of the aquarium, you peek under as you walk by or kind of scurry by. You see setting on a shelf underneath of it is a locked wooden chest, or what appears to be locked, the little locks placed upon it. As you kind of scurry by and make your way over to the desk itself, that's the only thing you didn't see from before.
Ah, a chest.
Mhm.
I see.
As you look over at all of the quills and parchment, all of the parchment is blank.
Unfortunate.
Steal the chest.
Another ring of the bell.
How big I'm not going to be able to get the chest under the door now.
You're inside. You can unlock it.
I have no more wild. Oh wait, no. Yeah, oh, right. The door. I checked the door to see if there's a lock on the door on this side.
As you make your way over towards the door here, you do find the little knob or the little latch that you could turn and unlock the door.
Okay, I'm gonna shapeshift back to normal
Mhm.
and hope that this isn't like a scary watch octopus that is now going to like leap out of the tank and go full size on me. All right, so first I'm gonna unlock the door,
Okay.
and then I'm going to look at the chest, and then how big is it?
It is roughly about 2 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot.
Okay, I can manage that. So Seldra, go grab the chest, and then open the door, and then haul it over to Nav and Graincool.
Okay, as you
Please tell me one of you has the bag of holding.
as you
No.
make your way here.
Here we go. Here we go with this goddamn octopus.
Give me a perception check.
I want to say be cheeky and say no, but I really do want to, and I want to make it. Thank God.
As you walk over here and you lean down and you reach out to grab for the chest, your eyes just glance up for a brief second, and you notice that the octopus is resting on top of this coral reef and staring right at you. Not moving, just watching you.
Selja takes off her cloak and then throws it over the thing so that it can't see her.
Okay.
And then proceeds to steal the chest and run away.
Okay. The octopus can no longer see you.
I have lost my cloak so many times in this adventure. Gotta make another one. Running out of blue jays to get the feathers from.
Remind me, what did we do with our equipment before we came? Did we stash everything, or just our weapons?
Yep, you had to stash everything.
So, like, I don't even have rope on me.
Mm-hmm.
Nav,
What?
you're gonna need to carry this.
You want me to just carry a chest away through all those people?
Who has the bag of holding?
Not us.
Bong.
This was a bad plan.
Nobody
What was
has
your
the
plan?
bag of
You
holding.
brought the chest out. What was your plan to do with it?
My plan was to put it in the bag of holding.
Well, did you open it?
No. Also, the octopus looked at me.
Oh dear. Okay. We can fix this. Thieves' tools aren't very large. I would have brought those with me, right? Like in a pocket
Yeah,
pouch?
Could have probably stashed them, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a disguise kit and disguise kit I'll use for my mask, but the thieves' tool kit I would have probably like kept my lockpicks and stuff in a little bag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Very quickly, move over, grab the chest, set it down. Kind of motion for Nav to block the view from the north, and I want to try to quickly open this chest.
Okay. Give me a thieves' tools check.
I'm also listening for anyone coming to the door.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the same on the opposite side.
As you go to unlock the chest, 1 second.
Uh-oh.
That's a trap.
We've done it now.
That's- No, fuck.
It's a mimic.
Shit.
Okay.
How's the boat gonna react to a fireball? I wonder.
The
I'm more
question is, how
concerned
is the
about
crew
as-
going to react to the
Oh.
boat being on fire?
As you reach
Yeah.
forward and put the thieves' tools inside, start moving it around, you don't pay attention to the fact that it's trapped, and you feel as these 3 sharp needles jab out and jab into your hands and poison you for 18 poison damage. And I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw, please. Ow! Fortunately, you're able to withstand the poison that enters into your body and kind of withdraw a bit just fast enough to not actually let it seep into your bloodstream. So you will not remain poisoned, you just take the initial damage from it.
Like
Just
holding
you.
my hand.
Yeah.
Ow. Is it unlocked?
Yes, you unlocked it though.
No, excellent. Ow. Okay. Quickly open it. What do I see?
Inside the chest, you see 450 gold pieces and a pouch containing 9 gold, or 9 gemstones worth 50 gold each.
No parchment or
No,
anything damning.
no,
Oh.
no.
No, I mean you're taking that, so come on, take it, put the chest back. We gotta go.
The we're thieves now?
Damn, why not?
The bell rings again.
We're running out of time, bud.
Make your mind up. Morality check. Go.
Okay. Okay, yeah, no. Not seeing any kind of like evidence or anything we could use to get more information about what's going on. I'm just going to immediately close the chest, relock it as best I can. Is the door still open?
I don't know. Selja, did you close the door?
I didn't lock it behind me, so. But yeah, I probably closed it behind me. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 minutes, chat.
I'm going to shove it back in Selja's arm, say, put it back, put it back, put it back, put it back. We're not stealing it.
Okay. So Selja goes back to replace it, I guess.
Selja, as you begin to move closer towards the chamber, you once again hear the sound of a door unlocking, as well as the sound of the winch beginning to raise as the anchor is slowly being pulled from the water.
Go fast.
I'm gonna run into the room. Throw the chest back. Grab my cloak. Run back outside. Tackle Grandcool.
As you grab your cloak, the octopus stares at you once again, watching you as you leave the chambers.
Taking a moment to breathe on the side of the aquarium, then write hi in my breath, and then run out the door.
Did you write it forwards or backwards?
Forwards, because intelligence at 8.
Oh, poor octopus. It doesn't understand.
Hey, I have an intelligence of 11. Thank you very much.
Ooh.
Smarter than me.
I would write it upside down.
Okay, so you
I
guys
wrote it in
are
goblins anyway. So
you guys are just pushing your way through quickly, making your way back downstairs to the bottom of the ship.
Yep. We're late.
Okay.
We're late. Excuse us. Pardon us. Get out of the way.
didn't know where we were going. Everything was really confusing.
All
I
right.
don't understand
I'll
human
move you
vessels.
guys. I'll move you guys. So you
My
make your
head
way back
hurts.
here. You make your way back here.
I was promised to
Make your way back
dance.
You touch stuff. The
You
deal's
told
off.
me to do it.
I don't care.
Wow, phrasing.
Fine. I'm not gonna heal you then.
As you
Rude.
as you make your way back to the bottom of the ship, you notice the deckhands have just begun walking in that direction, like they just started their rounds. They didn't notice as you snuck back into the chambers, though Selja's rowing buddy did see. But fairly
I have
noticeable.
small feet and legs. It's hard to get places.
All right, Lucas and Keelan, is there anything else you guys are wanting to do up there before we bring the boat back to shore?
Well, she said to wait for her somewhere. Is she
Follow
not
her.
coming?
We're supposed to follow her when we get back to town.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
misunderstood that. Okay. I suppose if there's a place to dance, Lucas will need to dance with Keelan. She insists in the most monotone of voices.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you can both make your way upstairs.
Poor Selja.
Poor Selja.
to the top.
See,
here.
if you had been a halfling, you could have danced with Keelan, and probably been invited on the boat.
All right, so you guys dance, and the boat begins its journey back. I need Selja, Nav, and Grankul to give me strength checks.
Yay!
Hey, the first hour goes swimmingly. The boat sails along just fine. No incidents, no anything. The rower or the members of the deckhands making their passes and seeing you and just kind of nodding in approval as everything is going according to plan. Second hour, strength checks. Second hour, you guys are once again able to continue. Grankul getting a bit tired at this point, not able to keep up with the rowing as you're trying to head back. Almost kind of falling over at this point. Go ahead and give me one more strength check to make it back.
Oh, jeez.
It's just see, maybe you should have given her that dance. You could have.
My hand hurts.
And at this point, Grankul falls out of his seat, collapses to the floor in front of him, unable to move. His arms now jelly. Grankul is doing all of the heavy lifting at this point. But the ship finally travels back and makes its way back to the city of Yartar.
Good job, Nav.
Well done. As the boat docks at the shores of Yartar a few hours after midnight, the crowd begins to push and stumble their way down the ramps. At first, it's the nobles just clearing off of the ship because they're the important ones, so they should obviously be the first to get off as well.
Damn right.
As they make their way down into the marketplace, the crowd roaring and boisterous as they continue stumbling along in kind of a drunken stupor, looking for a little more trouble to get into in the wee hours here of the day. The crew begins to offload the ship slowly, waiting and making sure everybody else leaves from the ship before they actually start to interfere. What are you guys doing?
I want my money.
Yeah. As you guys reach towards the front of the ship to offload, the deckhands are the ones handing out the gold. I don't remember what we said the pay was.
I think it was like 1,000 gold apiece.
I think that's
I
about how much it was.
distinctly remember 1,000 gold. Yeah.
Let's take a look at that. I'm pretty sure it's not, but we'll find out. It's fine. We'll just dock it from your pay if it's not.
Oh, well, shit.
Damn it!
It's some percentage of that.
It is definitely a percentage
It
of
is.
a number.
It is a percentage of a number. Let's see.
I think it might have been like 5 gold or something. It wasn't like groundbreaking or anything.
500.
No, it was 100 gold per person for running the job. So each of you will get 100 gold.
I would like to cash in the tokens I had before we returned.
Absolutely.
Keelan will do the same.
All right, and just switch that back over to gold as you so choose.
Hey, we made a
was-
profit.
It was 10, right?
Yeah,
You
10
got
per
15.
token.
And
Yep.
so
Yeah, I had gotten 15. Do you want the 4 back?
sure. I will gladly take the 4 back.
All right.
Okay.
Keep the
Yeah,
rest.
we came out pretty good there.
It is after midnight. If when does Keelan Ace thing trigger? After sleeping?
Yeah, after sleeping.
Okay. Okay. Anything else?
Departing, I would like to look / follow Lady Atalia.
Okay. You walk out onto. Oh, I need to fix this real quick. 1 second. You walk out onto the side of the ship up on the deck, and you kind of look around looking for Lady Atalia. And at first, you don't notice her immediately. And then, as you kind of scan through, almost without any acknowledgement whatsoever, you do notice that Lady Atalia has already left the ship and is roughly about 100 feet out ahead of you, walking off the docks at somewhat of a brisk pace, heading towards the empty streets of Yartar.
Kilane. We gotta go.
We ride.
Isengard.
Where are we at when the nobles are all offloading?
So as the last of them, which it's probably going to be Kilane and Lucas, as they start to get off of the ship, is about the time that they start releasing everybody else to come up.
Wow.
Okay, so knowing that they're like above us, I want to cast message towards Lucas
Okay.
and ask him telepathically if they had found anything out.
I would like to respond. Yes. We found the lady, purple dress and golden hair, and are currently following her as she requested us to. We will meet y'all back at House Rosalio. Or wait, where are we staying? We weren't staying there, were we?
Mm.
We had left our stuff in an inn.
That's right.
Somewhere up here, I think.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, I didn't write that down. That seems
We
like something
will
I should
we
have.
will meet y'all at the end.
I'll send another quick message back saying, "Are you sure you don't want us to come with you, just in case?"
They should be our backup.
Well, he's kind of leaving fast right now, and I don't know how y'all could track us, but y'all can figure out how to do that. Y'all are more than welcome to follow.
Ugh. Okay.
It's always like we need a ranger in the park.
Not sure how well coin toss in. Okay.
Okay. So are you guys following her then?
Yes.
Okay. So as you do, and I'll kind of guide you along, you quickly follow behind, trying to keep track of her. You watch as she's about 100, 150 feet ahead of you. She quickly darts off to the left, and you kind of peek over here and make your way down into this alleyway. As you do, you finally are able to kind of catch up to her. As you round the corner, but you find her kind of stopping where she is standing at, hearing your footsteps behind her. She kind of looks down, looks back over her shoulder a little bit, and says, "I wasn't certain you would heed my advice and follow me. I attempted to wait as long as I could, but when I didn't see you, I assumed you would just find me anyways."
Well, we did find you.
She kind of stops and turns. You notice that she's standing on top of like a grate, like a sewer grate, as she stops, takes a look back at you and says, "Then very well. What is it that I can do for you? What information is it that you require of me?"
So, real talk. Did you actually injure this kid and toss him over the water?
She kind of looks at you and says, well, I was involved in the abduction of Artan, but I didn't do so willingly. I was forced by a sorcerer named Osith, who claimed he would kill me if I didn't comply.
Hmm. We're trying to find out what is going on, and do you know why he was chosen? Why you kidnapped him?
She stops and thinks and says, to be honest, no, I have a job. My job is to track down nobles and bring them to Osith. The individual requests specific people, and that is what I do. She stops and kind of looks down at the ground and says, to be honest, it's easier for me to use the riverboat because it's a good place to pick up some of the lone nobles. I don't know what happens to them once I bring them to Osith, though. I am a bit afraid that it is a little nefarious in nature.
Oh, quite. He got infected by an aboleth, so you have a hand in almost murdering and enslaving this child. And man.
An aboleth? That's unheard of.
Well, there's apparently one hanging out down the river.
It just doesn't make sense.
I'm sad that I'm not there.
Come on, party.
Where? What?
I was going to say, I'm not giving you answers, so you have to find them.
Where is this?
She kind of nods and says, oh, that's quite an easy question. And she kind of taps the heel of her foot on top of the sewer grating. And she says, he resides in the sewers beneath Yartar, preferably to stay out of the sight of the shields and the hand of Yartar, obviously. He's protected by a handful of fish people who revere him as a god for whatever reason. I usually deliver my catch to the fish people, not very far into the sewers, so I don't know the full layout or anything of that nature, if that's what you're asking.
Who are the other people that he has asked you to get?
She kind of shakes her head and says, I only know them by their appearance. It's rarely does Osith ever tell me names. He just tells me what they look like, who I should be targeting. It's about this time that the rest of the party starts wandering in this direction. Just making their way through the gate, trying to find the rest of the party. Hoping to kind of stumble across them.
I still think that's just mean. You told me if I didn't touch anything, and then you told me to touch stuff.
It was semantics. My hand got hurt. I'm sorry. I'm grumpy.
Why didn't we take the money?
Because it's wrong to steal, Nav. Unless they need stealing from. But we didn't even know who owned that place.
You don't know that he didn't need stealing from.
I did all the work.
It was good work.
And an
Soldier should
octopus
be
stared
rewarded
at
for
me. I thought I was getting rewarded for it.
We'll get the money next time. But
I don't want the
steal it.
money. I wanted to dance.
Why do you want to dance? That's weird.
Because
Dancing is... Do goblins dance?
If they don't dance, they're no friends of mine.
yeah, I feel like they probably it's probably not like what one would consider much of a dance, but I'm sure they have some sort of a movement thing going.
I googled goblin dance. I made a mistake.
Yeah, you tried, yes.
So hearing the voices coming, Lady Italia looks up and then looks away, not paying any or looking in the direction of Lucas or Keelan now.
We need to ask you more questions. Where can we find you?
She kind of stops and says, I'll stay close by. If you need me, I will be within distance for me to see you. But I need to be able to stay out of sight.
Very well.
I wonder if we're going to be able to find Lucas around here.
Yeah.
Why did you act like you didn't know him again? Are you mad at Lucas?
We
Why
were
were you mad
undercover. Did y'all all forget what we were doing on there?
I'm going to assume that Lucas and Keelan now hear the group behind them.
We were rowing the boat. That's what we were
Yes.
doing.
Before they see me, I'd like to say, Lady Italia, these I know these people coming up behind me, and I completely understand if you do not want to be seen. Once they see me, though, they will see us. They will not leave. So completely understand if that's you need to leave.
She kind of nods and says, kind of clearing her throat, I don't want to be seen by any more individuals than I have to. Listen, I just need you to assist me. I need you to take care of Osith and rid me of this plague that he has placed upon me and make my life far less complicated than it is already. If these are your friends, then perhaps you're the one that can do so, but I fear for myself should he remain alive.
Oh, believe me, we will take care of him, but not necessarily.
And she kind of nods and again taps her foot on the grating below her and says, and one last thing. I beg you, please do not tell him of my involvement. If he does, I will be dead before you see me next.
Your involvement in what again?
I have spoken too much and slowly begins to walk away.
That's okay. I got the coy nature of the question.
And she disappears around the corner. Kind of, you hear her footsteps kind of picking up a little bit as she rushes forward. around the corner and out of sight, and we will end our session with that tonight.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, here I go goblining again.
So, crazy sorcerer.
Crazy sorcerer that lives in the sewer, guarded by fish people.
Mhm.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
If you're
I
a
have no
chump
idea
and
what
you
that-
take things at face value,
No, what I heard was God be God.
I mean, kind of what
Yes.
I'm
And now I'm excited.
hearing. All right.
Fake god versus fake god. Perfect.
Yeah.
I am not a fake god.
Uh-huh.
Let's see you get younger on cue.
let's see you get younger on cue.
Oh, let's see you do it
I did-
again.
Let's see you uphold your promises.
All right.
Oh.
I'm gonna end stream and then I'll be right back. Okay. It's fun tonight. Lots of fun. All right. Let's get some music going here, shall we? Let's do that. Yeah. Cool. All right. So we got music. Let's find someone to go talk to or go say hi to. Oh, there's a new stream over here tonight. They're doing a Buffy the Vampire Slayer stream tonight over on Welcome Party. Let's go over there and wish them a good stream, okay? So let's go raid them. Go over, say hi to them. They're wonderful, wonderful people. If you don't already follow them, make sure you do. I will see you guys on Sunday. But Fate will be here tomorrow, so feel free to stick around for that or hang out for that. I'll see you soon. Have a good night.